Hello, this post is about the cult of academia. Anyone can get lured into joining a cult, but I was especially vulnerable. Like many, I grew up feeling that if I didn't meet my parents' expectations, I wouldn't be loved. In that condition, anyone who says, "I love you," is going to become the center of my world. A boyfriend or girlfriend will say, "I love you," but one person only has so much power to pull you in and keep you. A group of people has a lot more power to pull you in and hold you there for as long as they need you. That is what a cult does. In the scientific community, people hear "I love you" when they're invited to speak at conferences, or when their papers are accepted by major academic journals. For some people, this sort of love is enough to build a life around. For me, there hadn't been much of a choice. I needed a job after I graduated from college, and a science lab hired me. They put me to work on rotating shifts, which gave me chronic sleep deprivation and made it hard to meet people outside of the lab. I tried dating non-lab people, but I was so drained that I felt like a zombie most of the time. Not sleeping is a form of torture. Perhaps it is no wonder that I ended up marrying a coworker who had undergone the same sort of torture. But the byproduct of this is that I further isolated myself by moving across the world with him to work in another lab. Like other scientists, I chased after the sort of love doled out in the form of certificates, promotions, awards, publications, and conference invitations. But it quickly lost its allure when I saw how politics and gender influenced how it was distributed. I became hostile towards the system when I saw that my husband would always be more addicted to the love from the laboratory than he was to love from me. He would even show his loyalty to the lab by supporting my competition in the workplace. I forgave him. Nevertheless, I understood why he thinks the way he does, and I forgave him with the knowledge that the scientific community conditions people to crave status, and it is hard to change after so many years of academic indoctrination. This craving is what causes people to disregard their health and happiness and to do whatever they can to serve the lab. When I broke out of this science cult, it's a little bit dramatic, I felt disoriented and frightened for a while. The parts of my mind which had previously been spinning in service of the cult were now free to look at other things, and what they saw was terrifying. Did you know that we are on a rock, hurtling through space, and that the systems which hold our civilization together are extremely fragile? This is terrifying. Eventually, I calmed back down and spent some time writing stories, which helped me explore how I felt about the 20 years I had invested in this cult. At this point, I became vulnerable to the lure of a new cult. I wanted someone to hear my stories. I wanted to chase after the love I'd always gotten before, in the same way I had always done before. I joined Quora, an online community, and worshipped the algorithm, feeding it more and more of my work. I joined a writers group and worshipped the publishing industry, trying to get their attention. And I must say that the only thing that really kept me from exclusively relying on these sources of love were my kids. And they're really, we all try to give our love to worthy endeavors, and sometimes this takes the form of a cult. In fact, many industries train their workers in the way I was trained. Medicine, law, the military, physics, biology, I'm sure all of them. And this may not be a bad solution for everyone, but I think we can all agree that kids are a worthy endeavor and they should never be neglected in the service of a cult. For the sake of personal happiness, we should also stay aware of how cults are capable of exploiting people, taking all of their money or their energy or their health. This is why people turn to more holistic, older, trustworthy religions. And I haven't become, I would almost say that writing novels brought me back closer to a more balanced understanding of the role that community, religion, family all play in supporting, but also reining in the obsessive investments of science and academia. I'm far more articulate on paper, and that's why I wrote a novel about this. And I found that through fiction, you can say things that you simply can't say in a video like this. I recommend my novels to anyone who has a child that is drawn to the flame of science and technology. I guess you could say I was burned by that flame and I have a story to tell. Thank you for watching. Until next time.